Hi. Although I'm constantly reminding everyone who bothers to watch these videos about the growing menace of conservative and fundamentalist Islam here in the UK, as I experience it here on a daily basis here in Whitechapel by merely looking out the window, I haven't forgotten there is a growing Christian equivalent. Of course, this is regarded as a culturally Christian nation, but there's hardly any indigenous Brits that practice the faith, with many not having the slightest inclination to. There's always been a vocal minority campaigning against abortion, sexual promiscuity, permissiveness, blasphemous books, films, theatrical productions, popular music, but along with the street preachers, they are mostly regarded as cranks. Now, however, some of these elements are getting organised, American style, with the added incentive of a looming cultural war against Islam and Muslims. It's also being channeled by certain conservative ultra-rightists, and it's no coincidence that Britain First, UKIP, now carry large crosses on their demonstrations, in comparison to Muslim militants and Islamo-fascists. They have a long way to go, but they are starting to gain support and momentum, also turning up at anti-migrant, hotel and Pink Lady protests, live streaming these events. Also, 2 Saturdays ago, a semi-paramilitary, garbed in black tracksuits, group of fanatics called the King's Army turned up in Soho, London's gay capital, with its numerous bars and clubs, blocking the streets chanting, "Christ is King," a blatant attempt at intimidation similar to the Muslim patrols that plagued Whitechapel at one time. This muscular Christianity is beginning to attract some alienated youth who are drawn towards right-wing online propaganda and could become the vanguard in challenging the so far better organised, more brutal Islamist equivalent, who are far more prepared to use violence as they clash on the streets. This could become the opening phase of the mini-civil war I've been hinting at, and that's eagerly awaited by the ultra-right, who've been itching for it a long time. In this bitterly fractured society with no class struggle, revolutionary outlets, and millions of marginalised, abandoned, ignored, all this looks like an increasing possibility. Can't say you haven't been warned. And when are we going to start developing anti-establishment alternatives to all this reactionary garbage? Bye.